And hello there. Let's get your week rolling just right with the right mix of news and conversation. Some of you catching us online, on TV, or even on the radio. Hop on, join the chat. I'm Paolo del Rosario.
Hello there, beautiful people. I'm Asis-Carilo. We are simulcast on Mellow 94.7 BFM. Here's your daily dose of deep dives and good vibes. Welcome to
Beautiful Day. And of course, we need a beautiful day after what was an eventful weekend. It has been a very, very stormy weekend due to Typhoon Uwan. And of course, we're hoping everyone is safe and dry. But of course, we all also know the reality on the ground. Grabe talaga yung mga nakita natin all over social media, all over the news channels, and of course, to all our reporters out there doing a great job. Hopefully, you're staying safe as well. But it has been a very trying weekend period. For sure.
I know. And this comes after, right after Typhoon Tino, right? It's been a back-to-back calamity-filled days, I guess, for us here in the Philippines. And yesterday we were giving hourly updates on Typhoon Uwan, and we have been seeing videos on social media. We've been seeing bridges swaying, right? The big waves hitting the shores. And a couple of local flights have been canceled, and a lot of families have been evacuated from their homes and are now staying in evacuation centers. So it's not yet done. Actually, the storm will be leaving Par by tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. So you'll be giving us more updates on that. Pero let's continue to pray for those who have been hit hard by Super Typhoon Uwan. But now it has weakened from Super Typhoon to Typhoon na lang. But it's still pretty strong, so please do take care. Most places still don't have electricity. In our village, actually, wala kaming kuryente. So I was, preparing for the show this morning. Yung flashlight lang ng cellphone ko.
No, I mean, it's one of those things that, of course, everyone's dealing with when it comes to, of course, the power situation and all of that. But again, if there is any relief, I guess, that we could take from the past two super typhoons, at least it didn't hit this exact same area. So the Super Typhoon Uwan hit the northern, eastern Luzon, going up a bit north, and of course, Tino was a bit more in the Visayas region.
That's
Actually,
right.
if I'm not mistaken, it was around the same path, around Odette, something like that, when it comes to Tino. This one, a bit different, itong si Uwan, but then it's also nice to see that a lot of people were adapting the way that they actually use social media. I've seen a lot of streamers, not video game streamers, talagang ginawa nilang channel for storm updates yung mga pages na over on TikTok, over or wherever. Kaya it's good to see that yung Bayanihan spirit was there, even online in different ways. And of course, we're obviously still going to be reeling from what has happened. In fact, later on Weather HQ, we're going to be talking to someone here who will be able to talk to us about mga sustainable flood solutions and something called the Reforma Hindi Bahala Na Symposium. Of course, that's coming in from architect Dinky von Einsindel. I love that last name. I want to find out more about that and, of course, what the whole thing is about. But, of course, prior to this, we're also trying to give everyone a better day because we actually had a great conversation over the end of last week.
That's right. We paid a visit to our friends from Offbeat. Offbeat, of course, is a Michelin-selected restaurant. And for What's Cooking today, we will be having a conversation with Michelin Young Chef Awardee, Chef Don Baldosano. Chef Don is one of the owners of Offbeat, together with Chef Angelo Comsti. So we will be having that for What's Cooking today.
Yeah, he only went home with 3 Michelin.
He went
home with 3 Michelin
stars,
distinctions.
Michelin awards.
Yeah,
there
so
you
he
go.
has 1 star for Linam ng Manila. He has the Young Chef Award, and he also has the Michelin-selected award with Offbeat.
Yes.
So yeah, grabe. I think it's only him and si Chef Chele. I have to double check who has more than three or more distinctions. So yeah, we're gonna hear from him later on. But of course, we are online right now as well. If you have any conversations or any or any places actually that probably need more attention that hasn't gotten it, let us
Oh,
know
yes, please.
online as well. So you can do that over our social media pages. Where is that?
Facebook and on YouTube, please. Our comment sections are already open. You can send us messages over there. And questions also you might want to ask, go ahead and send them our way. We are simulcast on Mellow 94.7 BFM, and we are also on their Facebook page. So there's a lot of ways to get in touch with us today. We will be with you for an hour and a half with a lot of information. The headlines today, we have got a lot to talk about. But as always, we always check the situation in major roads first. Traffic check for this hour. First up, let's take a look at what is happening along EDSA Quezon Avenue flyover. On the left side of your screens, you're seeing vehicles heading to Quiapo. We got light to moderate traffic on that area. Opposite lane, right side of your screens are vehicles heading to Quezon Memorial Circle. Light traffic on that stretch. Now this time, we are going to take a look at EDSA White Plains. Left side of your screens, you're seeing vehicles heading to Shaw Boulevard. No problem yet as of this hour. Light traffic on that area. Same situation on the right side of your screens. Those are the vehicles heading to Cubao. Everything green and go. Now heads up to motorists. The expanded vehicle number coding scheme is suspended today, November 10, due to Typhoon Uwan. If you have to be out on the road today, please remember to drive safe and stay alert. And motorists can expect a mixed fuel price movement this week. Industry sources say the price of diesel is expected to increase by up to 70 centavos per liter and kerosene by up to 35 centavos per liter. Gasoline prices, however, are expected to go down by 35 centavos per liter. The Energy Department says the price hikes are due to a Ukrainian drone strike on Russia's Black Sea port, a key export hub on top of ongoing sanctions on Russian oil. Now on to our top stories today. Over 1 million residents were evacuated, while 2 are reported dead. That's as parts of northern and central Luzon grapple with heavy rainfall and flooding from Typhoon Uwan. The Office of Civil Defense reports 1 individual drowned after being swept away by a flash flood in Viga, Catanduanes. The other casualty was a woman who was killed after a house collapsed in Catbalogan, Samar. Pag-asa reports Super Typhoon Uwan has weakened to a typhoon overnight, but authorities still urge the public to heed warnings and to stay alert. Meantime, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has declared a 1-year state of calamity in response to Typhoon Tino last week and Typhoon Uwan.
Again, 1-year state of calamity coming from the president. In response to this, I remember what happened last year in particular, because as bad as this is, do you remember when we had 4 in the span of 3 or 4 weeks?
Was that last year?
That was last year,
Sometime
November.
last year? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so or around that time. So
Yeah.
it was always going to be a difficult period. But of course, the state of calamity allows the government to access resources
Yes.
quickly. And when it comes to deploying relief goods, when it comes to deploying the necessary assets and equipment, a lot quicker than it would if it weren't in a state of calamity. Of course, it being 1 year, some people might think a bit of overkill. Pero if you take a look at the devastation that has been seen throughout this particular period, including the livelihoods lost, the amount of destruction caused for those communities
Yes.
that were not necessarily siguro built to withstand this type of pressure, this type of storms. I think it's fair to say that it will take more than just a few weeks at the very least to be able to recover from something like that.
We're seeing all the destruction that was caused by Typhoon Tino and now Typhoon Uwan, diba? It's not going to be easy to rebuild everything.
Yep.
Lalo na when you see videos of Cebu with all the destruction there in infrastructure, mga nasirang gusali, mga nasirang bahay,
Yeah.
and the streets covered with so much debris. It will take time and a lot of funds actually. So people are wondering like, nako, hindi ba tayo mauubusan ng pondo kasi sunod-sunod yung mga kalamidad na nangyari. But with the help of the state of calamity, 1 year state of calamity, hopefully we will be able to recover fast.
One of the other things that is going to be part of it, apart from the movement of all the assets, it's also a price cap on yung mga essential goods in affected areas.
Yes.
That's important when you take a look at siguro may mga unscrupulous individuals who would put a premium on mga essential goods like medicine, food, even gas on certain areas. So again, this is I don't know if it's ever been done. I have to double check it actually kung naka 1 year state of calamity ba tayo dati. But it is something that I'm sure looking at devastation, especially in certain areas, necessary. Like I saw villages in Samar that are practically rivers. Now, I mean, literally lampas tao yung baha, and it
At
is
saka yung
incredible.
agos, yung rumaragasa talaga. So it's really unsafe, dangerous, and you mentioned kanina yung mga unscrupulous individuals who will try to take advantage of this situation. Like last night, we reported on Agenda Weekend that in Manila there is a price freeze. There you go. So para kasi minsan sobrang mahal yung mga bilihin right now, taking advantage of the storm, of the situation. So at least now may mga certain cities where they implement that price freeze. This is going to last for 60 days, so hindi magtataas yung presyo ng mga bilihin, lalo na sa panahon ngayon.
Well, now we're still talking about recovery. The latest update here from Meralco, because as of 9 p.m. last night, service to about 276,000 customers have been affected by Typhoon Uwan, mostly in Metro Manila, Cavite, Laguna, and Rizal. Personnel are working round the clock to restore power to those affected, and Meralco appeals for patience as they prioritize safety for both customers and crews on the ground. Of course, what we're dealing with here, dito at least sa Metro Manila area, and of course, wherever Meralco does service, is the fact that they are not just dealing with the accessibility issues. They're also dealing with the trees that have fallen on lines, the posts that have fallen as well. There have been a few in sa area namin, particularly in the south. It was hard to move around because the wind was moving around trees or fallen trees around branches all over, and as we're seeing in the videos that we're here, ito sa Kamuning nga to. Kamuning lang yan eh. Malapit lang yan sa atin eh. But then of course, there you see the posts have fallen, trees have fallen as well. So it might take some time. Of course, we're going to give you more updates on whether or not that number has improved. 276,000 as of last night, and I'm sure. And right now, by the way, this report only focused on the Meralco customers, which are not nationwide at the moment. I'm sure other areas have different issues as well.
Now, moving on, various roads in the country have become unpassable due to the effects of Super Typhoon Uwan. According to the DPWH, the Baler-Dinadiawan section of the Baler-Casiguran Road in Dipaculao, Aurora has become unpassable to all types of vehicles due to storm surge, while the Gatebulan Airport Road in Bulat, Sorsogon is unpassable to light vehicles due to flooding, and only one lane is passable on the Abuyog-Gubat Road because of a fallen tree. The situation is similar in various parts of the Leyte-Samar Road in Tacloban City due to fallen posts. The Nueva Vizcaya-Pangasinan Road near Santa Fe is temporarily closed due to continuous rainfall. Still in the Cagayan Valley region, the Cabagan-Santa Maria Overflow Bridge is no longer passable due to high flood waters. And lastly, San Juan Bridge 2 in Nueva Ecija has been temporarily closed as a precautionary measure to the effects of Super Typhoon Uwan.
Of course, right now we are still getting more and more updates on the accessibility of certain parts of our country. And what I found really interesting during, of course, lahat tayo, hindi naman tayo nag-doom scroll. I don't think that's the right word to use during this time. While we are all trying to get updates on the storm from wherever sources, especially government sources. An interesting note that I did see was from yung mga storm chasers. So maraming storm chasers that actually flew in here to the Philippines to be able to see the landfall, especially in the Aurora region, in the Quezon province area as well. And it was really interesting because one of them, I forgot the name of which one, did post that about the Sierra Madre, the Sierra Madre area wherein it is supposed to be the backbone na hihina yung mga storm, mga bagyo once it hits. He reminded people that it may protect a lot of Luzon, pero yung mga shorelines, at what we're seeing right here on your screen, they are getting the brunt of it without the storm slowing down. So yung mga coastal communities natin are very much in a vulnerable area, especially in the eastern part of the country, before it even crosses yung Sierra Madre. So that's why we are seeing images like this, where in coastal roads along the coast, in particular in the eastern part of the Philippines, talagang not accessible. It's not safe, and it
At
might
saka
take a while to recover from.
Yung mga residents dun sa coastal area, yan talaga yung mga unang ini-evacuate.
I hope they're out of there. So,
And I hope that they follow. Kasi may mga reports na ini-evacuate na, but some families, they refuse to go. They stay in their houses. And I think that was the case also in Cebu when Tino hit. Si Governor Pam Baricuatro was saying na they did their part. They warned the residents in evacuate sila, but some refused to leave their homes. So kaya minsan dun tayo nalalagay sa panganib when we don't follow yung government, yung authorities, 'di ba? Pag kailangan evacuate, kailangan talagang lumikas.
Yes, and
especially if you live in areas near the waters, 'di ba?
And in the coastal areas, the storm surges will actually hit you first. And there were actually images and videos of people who did not expect the storm surges at once, despite the warnings, because at that time, I believe the storm hasn't really reached them yet. So again, hopefully we see less stories about people who could not be evacuated kasi ayaw nila. And that's always going to be an issue. Now, another issue that went around that I left me double checking left and right. Authorities warn against fake images circulating online regarding the impact of typhoons hitting the country. The Office of Civil Defense Region 7 says some of them may be AI generated. They call on online content creators to avoid spreading misinformation during disasters. This may add unnecessary fear and psychological distress, as well as misleading content. The public is urged to subscribe only to verified sources of information online. So yes, there yung mga ganun,
on screen.
AI generated images, AI generated videos. Dati naalala ko bago yung AI, yung issue natin during disasters is that they would get images of disasters overseas.
Yes,
and then
from
they
other
would
countries.
Pretend,
Yun ang gagamitin.
Then yung mga stories din doon, they're saying that, this is what happened in this part of the Philippines. Pero pala, nasa Mexico or wherever. But now, it looks like the Philippines, pero AI generated. At talagang yung fear-mongering, ibang level talaga.
Yeah. And makikita mo, minsan kasi, if you're not trained to look at images and you can't differentiate the real photos from the AI photos. So talagang it causes unnecessary stress, unnecessary fear, diba? I don't get the purpose of this, of why they have to come up with AI-generated photos and cause this fear sa taong bayan.
You know, at the same time, as we take a look at some of the images there, a comparison of the real versus the AI. Some people argue that the AI is used to show or an approximate image of what is happening in a certain location. Yung mga nagde-defend sa mga gumagamit ng AI.
An approximate image.
An approximate image
is there like
kasi walang totoong image or videos or photos coming from a certain area.
But the thing is there like a
allegedly.
disclaimer that says, okay, this is just
nga,
an AI generated, diba?
Exactly. Kasi especially for those who are not... Look, kasi I would also argue there are people who are trained to look at something and say, hindi an AI or AI yan. who still get it wrong because of the fact that AI is so good now.
Exactly.
Diba? So,
kaya nga, you'll be easily fooled by these photos.
Pati nga video eh.
So you just have to be very careful. Wag agad share ng share. Kasi minsan magpapanik ka, oh my God, share, and then you spread the word.
Yeah.
Right? So we have to be very careful with these images and make sure that you just check kung ano yung source. Just get it from BNC. Ayan.
Tama.
Para reliable source,
say,
diba?
Self-promote tayo dito.
Now, moving on, Pope Leo XIV on Sunday prayed for the victims of Typhoon Uwan. During his weekly address at St. Peter's Square in the Vatican, the pontiff prayed for the casualties and their families, as well as Filipinos displaced in evacuation. Pope Leo also addressed global conflicts, praying for victims of bombings and fighting.
Okay, alam mo, Anne, we're about to enter the hardest part of our show, which is, paano tayo mag-shift to talk about lighter?
Transitioning,
How are we
right?
transition talking about lighter news?
It's the transitioning part that's actually extra challenging for us. After talking about disaster, calamity.
Yeah,
But you're so good at this. Come on, do it.
I mean, like, literal. Ako yung next item ko, sports kagad eh. And I'm like, because all sports were canceled over nung Sunday, which is good. Which is very good.
Of course.
Walang PBA, walang UAAP,
Yes.
walang volleyball, and ako, naka-assign nga ako sa mga volleyball, and then I was like, whoa, buti na lang hindi. But of course, in what is the probably roughest transition we've ever had into another topic, now on to sports. Spanish ace Carlos Alcaraz is off to a winning start in his fight for his first ATP Finals trophy, winning his opening ATP Finals match for the first time with a 7-6 and 6-2 beatdown against Australia's Alex de Minaur, who gave a valiant showing as both players strove to improve on last year's performance. Alcaraz is also on track to end the year as world number 1, fighting with Italian Jannik Sinner for the coveted title.
All right, here we go with our first cup of tea. K-pop takes center stage in the global scene as 2 K-pop songs rake in awards at the 2026 Grammys. Blackpink member Rosé and Philan pop star Bruno Mars's hit collab Appetite received the Grammy Song of the Year nomination. So these are nominations. Chart-topping Golden from the soundtrack of K-pop Demon Hunters is also gunning for Song of the Year award on top of 2 more nominations. Huntrix member EJ said they didn't expect this level of success, but it made the hard work worth it.
I definitely feel a little bit of imposter syndrome, but I do feel very honored. I feel very proud. I think the first thing I thought of was pulling all-nighters for a lot of the writings I had to do for K-pop and for the film, and that it was worth it at the end.
You know what? Congratulations to both Rosé and of course EJ and the rest of Huntrix. I don't know if they're even called Huntrix as a group, as a trio. No, because that's the movie name, right?
Yes, the group in the movie.
Yeah, the group in the movie is called Huntrix, right? So again, Golden is all over the place. It reminds me of Let It Go from Frozen.
Oh
back in the day.
yes, when it came out,
or We're All in This Together from High School Musical. Ano pa yung mga songs, or every Disney song before but on a different level. It reminds me more of the High School Musical and Frozen hype. But congratulations to them in the Spotify era in particular. And of course, Apata doing really well. Siyempre, kailangan natin i-mention na si Bruno Mars. Diba? Importante yun.
But I love the story of EJ when she was creating the music for Golden. She was actually in a taxi, if I'm not mistaken. She was on her way to a dentist. And then parang tinawagan siya and said, okay, this song is good to go, so you need to put music in it for the song, for the lyrics. And she was like, habang nasa taxi on the way to the dentist.
Yeah. Baka naisip, baka yung taxi niya, yellow cab. Or,
Or
sa yellow cab.
baka yung takot niya
Kaya
sa
sabi niya,
dentist.
golden.
Actually, she did mention that. She didn't like going to the dentist. So siguro nakadagdag yun with the way that she thought of the melody and everything. Pero diba, it came from that short trip to the dentist. So you get your creative juices from certain moments like that. Yung mga
fear,
unexpected
yung
things.
Yung golden kasi yung plaque na tatanggalin dapat. Tama ba? Pwede ba yan? I
Gold
don't know.
ba yun?
Ha?
Golden ba yung plaque?
Basta medyo madilaw. Or yung
Oh my gosh.
No,
Okay,
totoo naman. Or
that's
yung
not a...
yung yellow cabs
That
rin,
isn't-
diba?
That isn't a nice picture if they're having their breakfast right now. Let us just move on.
Sige, tignan niyo muna yung scrambled eggs ninyo,
Oh
diba?
my
Yan,
goodness.
bali yan, golden.
Yun, golden.
Golden,
Yeah. Or
oo.
yung sunny side up, that
Sunny
yellow
side up.
part, that's
Or
golden.
baka salted egg pa yung ano nila, diba?
Pwede rin, diba?
Magbuban nga tayo.
Sarap naman.
Oh my
Now
gosh.
our next cup of tea, Predator Badlands just made the biggest global opening of the franchise with $80 million on its first weekend. Director Dan Trachtenberg, known for 10 Cloverfield Lane and the previous entry in the franchise, Prey, Badlands opened to high critic reviews and now has a 95 audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. The film stars New Zealand actor, I hope I get this right, Demetrius Schuster Koloamantangi.
Koloamantangi.
There, in his first Hollywood role as the outcast predator Deck, and Maleficent star Elle Fanning as his companion android Thea, as the two go on an adventure for Deck to find redemption with his clan by slaying a worthy foe. Predator Badlands, there you go, opening
$80 million.
Yes, $80 million.
In its first weekend. Grabe. So again, I haven't
Di ba
necessarily
yung old
been...
Predator nandun
Arnold
si
Schwarzenegger.
Sigourney Weaver? Tama ba?
No, that
I know,
was
Alien pala
Aliens,
yun.
Aliens,
Yeah.
yeah.
Iba pala yung Predator.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah. The original Predator had
Arnold
Arnold
Schwarzenegger.
Schwarzenegger
Yeah.
and Carl Weathers, wherein that's the origin of the meme kung saan ganun sila, nag-high sila, and then nag-zoom in sa biceps ng dalawa. So yeah, that was the origin of that meme for those younger people who've seen that before. But of course, Predator Badlands. It's nice to see the Predator franchise coming back in general because it's always nice to see mga classic franchises go back. But at the same time, and even in local Philippine culture, like there's actually a basketball player whose nickname is the Predator, which is
Sino?
CJ Perez, and his hair was akin to yung buhok
Predator
ng
na.
Predator.
Yung parang
Yung
pag
mga
ano.
mahaba na dreads. And then he cut his hair, so I don't know what to call him now. CJ, ano ginagawa mo? But then yeah,
Unpredator.
hindi, I don't know. But yeah, but it's fantastic series. It's a great world to talk about. There's also animated films about it as well, talking about the Predator series. So yeah, I mean, like if you're more mature, I guess you have to be a bit older to watch it. Go check it out. All right, so we're gonna move on in just a bit. Up next, we talk to one of the experts leading the call for Reforma, Hindi na Bahala Na, as they gear up for a national symposium that aims to change the way we manage floods.
Plus, our horoscope of the day with Master Hans Kua. So don't go away. Beautiful day. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. You're still watching Beautiful Day. This is Weather HQ. Let's get a quick update on the weather as Typhoon Uwan has weakened slightly but remains a powerful storm. It continues to batter northern Luzon. Now, as of 5 a.m. today, the center of the Typhoon Uwan was located over the coastal waters of Bacnotan in La Union. It now packs maximum sustained winds of 150 kilometers per hour near the center and gusts reaching 230 kilometers per hour. Now, the typhoon is moving northwestward at 25 kilometers per hour. Now, Pag-asa has placed areas under tropical cyclone wind signal number 4. These include the western portion of Nueva Vizcaya, the southwestern portion of Kalinga, the western portion of Mountain Province, the southern portion of Abra, the western portion of Ifugao, Benguet, the central and southern portions of Ilocos Sur, La Union, Pangasinan, the northern portion of Nueva Ecija, the northern portion of Tarlac, and the northern portion of Zambales. Areas under signal number 4 should expect destructive winds of more than 118 to 184 kilometers per hour that can cause damage to structures and trees within the next 12 hours. Signal number 3 is now hoisted in the southwestern portion of mainland Cagayan, the western portion of Isabela, the southern portion of Apayao, the rest of Kalinga, the rest of Ifugao, the rest of Abra, the rest of Mountain Province, Quirino, the southern portion of Ilocos Norte, the rest of Ilocos Sur, the rest of Nueva Vizcaya, the rest of Nueva Ecija, the northern and central portions of Aurora, the western portion of Bulacan, Pampanga, the rest of Tarlac, the rest of Zambales, and the northern portion of Bataan. Areas under signal number 3 may experience winds between 89 to 117 kilometers per hour within the next 18 hours, likely resulting in power interruptions and damage to light material structures. Tropical cyclone wind signal number 2 is now up over the rest of mainland Cagayan, including the Babuyan Islands, the rest of Isabela, the rest of Apayao, the rest of Ilocos Norte, the rest of Aurora, the rest of Bulacan, the rest of Bataan, Quezon, including the Polillo Islands, Metro Manila, Rizal, Laguna, Cavite, Batangas, Marinduque, the northern portion of Oriental Mindoro, the northern and central portions of Occidental Mindoro, including the Lubang Islands, Camarines Norte, the northwestern portion of Camarines Sur. Areas under signal number 2, residents should expect winds of 62 to 88 kilometers per hour within the next 24 hours. Now, signal number 1 is also still in effect over the Batanes region, the northern portion of Palawan, including the Calamian Islands, Cuyo Islands, and the Cagayancillo Islands. The rest of Camarines Sur, Catanduanes, Albay, Sorsogon, Masbate, including the Ticao and Burias Islands, Romblon, the rest of Oriental Mindoro, the rest of Occidental Mindoro, the western and central portions of northern Samar, the northwestern portion of Samar, Iloilo, Capiz, Aklan, Antique, including the Kaluya Islands. Now, these areas may experience winds of 39 to 61 kilometers per hour or intermittent rains within 36 hours. Now, moving back to Typhoon Uwan, according to Pag-asa, Typhoon Uwan will continue moving west-northwestward over the next 12 hours. Now, even as it heads outside of Philippine responsibility, the rain bands and the strong winds will continue to impact much of Luzon and the northern and western sections in particular. Now, the typhoon is expected to re-intensify between tomorrow and Wednesday while still over the West Philippine Sea. Now, by Wednesday afternoon or evening, Uwan may re-enter the Philippine Air Responsibility as it turns northeastward towards the Taiwan Strait. Now, the center of Typhoon Uwan is expected to make landfall over western Taiwan by Thursday and exit the Philippine Area of Responsibility by Friday, and possibly weaken into a low-pressure area by Saturday due to unfavorable weather conditions when it comes to sustaining its strength. Now, we also have to talk about storm surges because Pag-asa is warning the public of dangerous storm surges that may be triggered by Typhoon Uwan. As of 2 a.m. today, a storm surge warning is in effect for multiple coastal provinces across Luzon and the Visayas regions. Storm surges exceeding 3 meters are possible along the coasts of Aurora, Bataan, Batanes, Cagayan, Ilocos Norte, Ilocos Sur, Isabela, La Union, Pangasinan, Quezon, and Zambales. This level of storm surge can cause severe coastal flooding, submerging homes, roads, and low-lying communities, and making conditions life-threatening along the shoreline. Storm surges between 2.1 to 3 meters high, 3 meters high, are also possible in the following areas, including Aklan, Antique, Batangas, Bulacan, Cavite, Guimaras, Marinduque, Masbate, Metro Manila, Negros Occidental, Negros Oriental, Occidental Mindoro, Oriental Mindoro, Palawan, Pampanga, and Romblon. Coastal conditions in these areas may turn extremely dangerous with strong waves and sudden rises in sea level expected. Meanwhile, storm surges of up to 2 meters, which could still result in flooding in coastal barangays and fishing communities, are likely in Camarines Norte, Camarines Sur, Catanduanes as well. Residents living near the coast are strongly advised to stay away from the shoreline, move to higher ground, and secure important documents and belongings. Evacuate immediately if local authorities issue an advisory for your area. Your safety, as always, is the top priority. Now, Pag-asa also warns of heavy to intense rainfall today with total rainfall amounts ranging from 100 to 200 millimeters. Now, this is expected in the following areas: La Union, Pangasinan, Benguet, and Zambales. These conditions may lead to widespread flooding, landslides, and dangerous road conditions, especially in low-lying and mountainous communities. Now, moderate to heavy rains is estimated between 50 to 100 millimeters are expected in the northern provinces. Now, these include Ilocos Norte, Ilocos Sur, Apayao, Abra, Kalinga, the Mountain Province, Ifugao, and Batanes. Rainfall totals between 50 to 100 millimeters are also possible in the following areas: Cagayan, Isabela, Quirino, Nueva Vizcaya, Bataan, Tarlac, Pampanga, and Bulacan. Moderate to heavy rains are likely in Nueva Ecija, Aurora, Metro Manila, Cavite, Laguna, Batangas, Rizal, Quezon, and Occidental Mindoro. Residents in these areas are urged to stay alert for possible flooding and landslides, avoid travel in flooded roads, and closely monitor weather advisories from Pag-asa and local authorities. Now, that is a lot of local weather here, but we have to focus on something that actually is affected by that, because as the country faces another season of severe flooding, the call for real, lasting, and science-based solutions has never been louder. This is what experts aim to address in the upcoming symposium, Reforma Hindi Bahala Na, moving forward from the flood control scandal towards sustainable solutions, happening on November 12 at the UP School of Urban and Regional Planning in Diliman, Quezon City. Joining us this morning is one of the symposium's key participants, architect Dicky von Einsiedel, I hope I pronounced that right, the Fellow Emeritus of Philippine Institute of Environmental Planners College of Fellows, to share what this event's all about and why a change in our flood management mindset is long overdue. Architect, just taking a look at all of this, we had so much to talk about when it comes to the weather. Let's focus first on just how timely this is, architect. I hope you're safe. I hope you're dry. Just how important is this type of conversation, considering we just had Super Typhoon Uwan and, of course, Typhoon Tino back in the Visayas area?
Well, it's very important. It's actually long overdue. We've been in our circle of environmental planners, architects, and engineers. We've been talking about really the need for a science-based approach to flood management. Mm-hmm. And I think this ongoing investigation has highlighted the fact that the traditional, conventional gray infrastructure approach that DPWH has been using for the past several decades is really not the only solution to the problem. And I think this flood, this massive flood that Typhoon Yuan has brought about, highlights that need. And that's why we thought we should organize the symposium. Mm-hmm. And we've been able to successfully invite a number of good speakers to talk about the subject, because we are concerned not only of the graft and corruption that is now being investigated, but also the way that flood control projects are identified, how they are prioritized, and how they are implemented. Mm-hmm. Because it appears that the approach has been on a project-to-project basis. It's not the kind of comprehensive approach that is needed, because a lot of our towns and cities are situated in river basins and in floodplains. Mm-hmm. And the problem of flooding is a natural phenomenon. I mean, river basins and floodplains will naturally on certain occasions overflow and get flooded. And so a kind of a project to project approach, which many of the what we've been seeing in the news that's being investigated is simply not doing the solution that it's supposed to bring about.
Mhm. So you mentioned a while ago, you described the approach of DPWH as gray. You want to push for more science-based, more comprehensive approach to flood management in particular. There have also been arguments made in the past by other urban planners saying that even if you take out corruption, the incompetence when it comes to selecting projects might actually be more damaging when you take a look at the allocation, when you take a look at the works actually being done to address certain problems. Where do you stand when it comes to that? And at the same time, of course, what are the key changes you feel has to be made by all of the governing bodies?
The phenomenon of flooding is directly related to the hydrologic cycle, the natural hydrologic cycle, which in a particular location. Now, the hydrologic cycle is science, it's nature's way of balancing the amount of water on the surface, in the air, and in the clouds. Okay, and there is this cycle of water rising up. Okay, the warmer the oceans are, the more moisture that goes up, and this form into the clouds.
Yeah.
And then when it gets very, very heavy, then it falls as rain. Okay, and then when it hits the ground, and the ground has been developed, like for example in towns and cities, which are all now buildings and roads and parking lots, there's not enough open space to absorb the
Yeah.
rainwater, and that causes the
Well, it looks like we have an issue here with our architect's feed coming in. Of course, a lot of people going through the same issues right now. We're going to try to get our architect back here. But once again, we are still talking about this particular symposium happening when it comes to the flood management. It is called Reforma Hindi na Bahala na, moving forward from the flood control scandal, going towards sustainable solutions, happening on November 12 at the UP School of Urban and Regional Planning in Diliman, Quezon City. All right, so we're going to try to get him back, but at the moment, we're going to give it back to Anne for a bit more. That's it for Weather HQ at the moment. We'll see if we can come back here. Anne, back to you.
Thanks, Pao. Now, is today going to be a lucky day for us or not? Let's go find out from our resident energizer and feng shui master, Hans Kua, in our horoscope of the day. Take it away, Master Hans.
Good morning! Beautiful day with me, Bilyonaryo Master Hans Kua, para sa horoscope of Monday, November 10. Simulan na natin! Para sa mga pinanganak ng Year of the Rat, going strong ang relasyon kapag may respeto sa oras, time at damdamin feelings ng isa't isa. Yellow at 3. Kay Ox naman tayo, maaaring sensitive si partner. Maging mindful sa mga salita. Green at 6. Kay Tiger naman tayo, isang old friend ang magbibigay ng referral o tulong. White at 2. Kay Rabbit naman tayo, maaaring matambakan ka ng trabaho, gumawa ng schedule para hindi ma-overwhelm. Red at 5. Kay Drago naman tayo, kung malabo ang usapan, clarify, huwag hayaang umikot sa haka-haka. Silver at 8. Kay Snake naman tayo, mas magiging maayos ang araw kung bibitawan mo na ang luma at masasakit na alaala, past memories. Blue at 7. Ito naman, Care of the Horsey, may biglang assignment, kaya naman kalma lang, take it easy, kaya mo yan. Gold at 4. Kay Ship naman tayo, iwasan ang pagpupuyat, lalo na kung kailangan gumising bukas ng maaga. Pink at 9. Monkey naman tayo may swerte sa pagbenta ng lumang gamit o pag-share ng services online. Green at 6. Rooster naman tayo, maaaring may biglaang cash out. Maghanda ng emergency ng mga fund. Violet at 1. Kay Doggy naman tayo, iwasan ang stress-related na pagkain. Don't forget na mag-chillax, relax at chillax. Brown at 8. Kay Year of the Pig naman tayo, may minor delays pero madaling maayos. Good job! Silver at 7. Paalala lang, ito po'y patnubay lamang. Ang tunay na swerte ay nagsisimula sa pagiging totoo. Abangan araw-araw ang horoscope of the day. Dito lang po sa Beautiful Day with me, Master Hans Kua.
Thank you, as always, Master Hans Kua. Now, let's go back to Paolo for Weather HQ. Take it away, Pao.
Thank you so much, Anne. Of course, we're still trying to get architect Dinky von Einseidel back. Again, still having trouble with that last name. Sir Dinky, are you here? All right, so we're still going to try to get him back. Again, he is a fellow emeritus of the Philippine Institute of Environmental Planners College. And of course, he is now on the line. Architect Dinky, are you back? Architect, are you there? Architect Dinky, once again, still talking about the reforma, hindi bahala na. It is moving forward from the flood control scandal towards sustainable solutions. Again, that's happening on November 12th from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. It is a hybrid event, so you can go register there to learn more. Once again, very timely considering the issues that we are facing today. And we're going to try and check again with Architect. Architect Dinky, are you here? All right, so it looks like we haven't gotten him back. Sir Architect Dinky?
Yeah, I can hear you, but it's coming out very soft.
All right, Architect, but we can hear you loud and clear. Right now, we're going to try and summarize what we can expect from this symposium, if you don't mind. When we take a look at key reforms that you will be pushing for, what that might be here in this particular symposium.
Okay, well, as I mentioned earlier, because of the phenomenon of flooding, which is a regular natural phenomenon, we need to be a little bit more scientific, I think, in the approach of identifying, prioritizing, and implementing flood control projects. So we're looking at river basins. The Philippines has 18 major river basins. Okay, and way back in, I think it was sometime in 2017, I think it was, when this 18 river basins were officially identified, and that there were instructions to prepare master plans for each one. Flood control master plans. Now, I understand that some had been done, some of these plans had been implemented, but they have, the plans themselves have not translated into implementation on the ground. So this is one of the things that we'd like the symposium to investigate. And so we've invited Undersecretary CP David of the ENR, because they were the office that were identified to oversee the river basin master plans. So that's one of the things we'd like the symposium to look into. Now, we also have been able to invite a new undersecretary, a woman undersecretary in the DPWH. I can't remember her name because she was not in our original list, and she just recently joined DPWH. But we were able to invite her, and we expect her to share with us what are the reforms that the DPWH is undertaking or is now pursuing to adopt a more science-based approach to flood control projects. And then also we're looking at possible policy reforms. Probably this may require legislative agenda, legislative actions that may need to look, for example, into how local governments should participate in the preparation of the plans. Because it appears from the investigations that the local governments are not consulted by DPWH in the preparation of the plans. And so citizens do not know what's happening, and until some construction suddenly happens in their community, and then they don't know if it's completed or not, and so there's lack of participation at the local government unit, and this is one of the things that we need to that we expect the symposium to bring about, and define whatever maybe new laws we need to propose to address this gap.
Architect, I believe the USEC you're referring to is USEC Lara Escobil from the DPWH going to speak. She is the OIC Undersecretary of the Department of Public Works and Highways. Again, as you mentioned a while ago, will be there to show how this particular new management of the DPWH is adapting more science-based decision-making processes when it comes to this. Sir, we also have to take a look at the nature-based solutions. Is that going to be part of the proposed solutions, or at least the discussions in the symposium, especially when you talk about mangroves, wetlands, and of course green infrastructure in particular, trying to complement yung mga traditional approaches natin?
Yes, definitely. In fact, one of the primary organizers of this symposium is the Philippine Association of Landscape Architects. Together with the Philippine Institute of Environmental Planners, we, together with PALA, we have been talking about nature-based solutions to the flood control problem several years back. It sort of takes, it has taken a back seat insofar as the DPWH traditional approach to it is concerned. And so we find the ongoing investigation of the flood scandal to be maybe the opportunity to really push for the nature-based solutions and green infrastructure, because as we have seen over the years, and as the scandal also has highlighted, the gray infrastructure approach is not working, and it needs a flood management system that looks at how land is managed and how land is planned. So, for example, when floodwaters, when rain falls in the upstream and turns into floodwaters flowing downstream, if you keep on developing urban areas in areas that are flood prone, then you are putting people at risk. Okay, so land use planning and land use zoning are equally important in keeping people away from water, from the dangers of flood damage. And so there are these nature-based solutions that can be implemented to complement, because we're not saying that the gray infrastructure are useless, okay? In certain places, you really need them, okay? But they, in many instances, they cannot solve the problem alone. It has to be complemented by land management policies, how land is developed, how much open space is preserved, how much vegetation, natural vegetation is conserved, and all of that stuff. So it's all related to nature, and that's what we are trying to push.
Architect, we're running out of time. Unfortunately, we wish we actually had you for longer, but then because of the time management natin, we're not able to talk about flood management as much. But before we let you go, I want to leave you with a good a question I think a lot of people are now thinking more and more of. Is a sustainable and inclusive flood management system actually attainable within our lifetime, trying to take root in the country? Because it feels like it requires, one, systematic change, and two, a different sort of cultural shift when it comes to how we implement our projects that involve Mother Nature.
Okay, well, I believe we can do it, and we should do it in our lifetime. Okay, the policies are the general policies are in place. The local government code, for example, already mentions that the local government should be should have a drainage plan. They should have a flood control plan. The problem is it doesn't define how the local governments are supposed to do it. Okay, so what happens is that the local governments depend on the national government, on DPWH, to do everything. But then the DPWH is really more concerned at the regional level. So they need to be complemented at the local level. And that's where the community, the barangays, and the LGUs need to play a role. Now, so it's a matter, I think, and with this typhoons and this disasters happening, I think people are really, getting concerned about the lack of effectivity in the way this problem is being addressed. So I'm hopeful that this solution of bringing together the local, the community level to the national level government agencies, working together in synchronizing their efforts. I think this is something that will work. Now, what we need is, of course, the continuing funding for the project, but then making sure that the funds are actually used for the projects that have been based on plans, based on science-based data that have been properly done before implementing this project. So that I think is doable.
Architect, we really appreciate your time and your insights. Once again, the symposium called Reforma, Hindi Bahala Na, Moving Forward from the Flood Control Scandal Towards Sustainable Solutions will be happening on November 12 from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. It will be a hybrid event so you can join online. We're going to flash on the screen again where you can register. This will be happening at the UP School of Urban and Regional Planning over in Diliman, Quezon City. Architect Dinky, we really appreciate all of the insights, and we're hoping that it is a success and that we learn more about the progress being made when it comes to flood management in the country. Stay safe, stay dry, and hope to see you soon.
Okay, we hope so too. Thank you very much, Paolo.
Now, coming right up, we take a shift to a more delicious topic because I got to sit down with the Michelin Young Chef Awardee, Chef Don Baldosano, as he tells me what this award and a Michelin star rather, means to him in the community. Don't go away. Beautiful day. We'll be right back. And welcome back. Still watching Beautiful Day. Now, in this special edition of What's Cooking, we visited Michelin-selected Offbeat Bistro in Makati. And I got to talk to the Philippines Michelin Young Chef Awardee, Chef Don Baldosano. He tells us what's cooking in this interview. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are now here with a chef who was doubly recognized by Michelin very recently. Winner of two awards, two recognitions. First of all, the Michelin Guide Young Chef Award and a 1 Michelin star for Linamnam Chef Don Baldosano. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for having us. This looks fantastic, first and foremost. I need to start with the food.
For sure.
Could you tell us a bit what's on this spread here in front of us? And Anne is very jealous. She's waiting for her turn. I'm going to get first bite.
So tell us what we have here.
What you have, there's a little spread of what we have here at Offbeat, some of the new and old dishes that we have in the restaurant, essentially. I'll start off with this one. It's our inasal. So the idea was like do a fried chicken inasal, but still keep all the flavors and nuances of inasal. Then you have a couple of condiments like a banana ketchup that we make here, creme fraiche made from toyo mansi, and our own achara as well. Right beside you there is our yempo. So the idea was like a very tender pork that we grill, but it's served with a paste on the side made from laing.
Okay.
So it's a little bit fun, but something very nostalgic for Filipinos still. Over there as well is our bibingka, a savory take on bibingka, when we make a traditional bibingka, then we cook it in butter. On top, there's a salad made from shrimp in a sauce of salted egg.
Okay.
Yeah. This is our inihaw na baboy rice.
Okay.
It's one of my favorites here in the restaurant.
Inihaw na baboy
Yeah,
rice.
the idea was like if you have yempo, then you would grill it and eat it with rice. What
Yeah.
experience would you have? And we placed it in the form of fried rice.
And I like how it's beside the liempo. But yes, okay.
So pork on pork essentially.
Of course, yeah. That's how we do it here.
And you have a salad here as well of sigarilyas. The idea was sigarilyas that we seasoned almost like a coleslaw, but in a Pinoy way. So it's sigarilyas that's seasoned with tinapa of mayonnaise. There's a little bit of eggs on top as well, like an old school salad, if you will.
Well, you know, as of filming, Offbeat, where we are right now, is around 8 months old. It's not even a full baby yet,
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
When we take a look at the concept, how it all started, it feels very distinctly Pinoy.
Yes.
But there's so many twists and turns. How would you encapsulate Offbeat?
When me and Angelo built Offbeat, the whole idea was to do retro Filipino. Like looking at the old school things that we used to cook as Pinoys and stuff that we've kind of forgotten already. Some regional stuff, some stuff that your lola or your mom has cooked before that you've forgotten. So bringing them all in a restaurant and showing a different side of Filipino food.
Is there any particular dish that you felt that, boy, this reminds me of your heritage, your family line in particular? Because I can only imagine that even a bit of your life is in some of these recipes.
Oh, definitely. I would say this one, the inihaw na baboy rice, is something very special for me. I mean, rice is something that I've been eyeing on since I started cooking.
Okay.
So that being on the menu for me was a culmination of all the things that I've been doing with rice and making it as nostalgic and as familiar to Pinoys in a way. So for me, because Sunday lunch for me was always reminded of yempo and inihaw na baboy and something grilled. So me having it on rice was something very familiar for me. So having it on here was something that's...
Because you said that, I'm going to try that out first.
Please
Sorry,
do.
Anne, wherever you are in this world. Of course, we have to also talk about Chef Angelo. Because
Definitely.
Chef Angelo is one of the best cookbook writers that I know of. I don't know many, but he's way up there for sure. When we take a look at his own creativity and the collaboration with him, what made it work? What made it make sense for Offbeat?
I think the first thing talaga is the friendship that me and Angela has and the respect for each other that we have. Whenever we would do dishes, we always collaborate on everything and we always accept each other's opinions on things.
Yep.
And I think that makes us a better team in a way because we understand what each other likes and what each other should need in terms of help.
Yeah.
So we always just try to be there for each other whenever we have to do something. So the idea is whatever the other person can't do, the other person is there for.
So what doesn't he like?
Well, I think I can't say anything specifically because we try to do everything here in the restaurant.
Yeah.
So yeah, nothing specifically really.
You know, and all of a sudden, I mean, like one of the reasons why we're here is because this is also recognized by
Definitely,
Michelin
yeah.
as well. And it's, again, not even a baby year old.
Yeah.
Just how surreal is that? Has Michelin changed anything, or the recognition changed anything with the running of Offbeat?
First and foremost, I would say there will be no changes on how we would run things.
Yeah.
Us being recognized with something like this just goes to show that the hard work of the team and the dedication they've been putting on has been all worthwhile.
Yeah.
But for us, it's definitely a huge recognition to be recognized by Michelin and having all these medias looking at us. For us, this just goes to show what Filipino food and different side of Filipino food can do.
You know, what I love about your philosophy in general, I think we see it here, is that you're a real champion for Filipino food, Filipino ingredients in particular, and you championing that brought you to the world stage. Again, focusing on Offbeat in particular, is there anything that you feel you want to help educate the general public with, considering the inventiveness that we see here? Look, I'm about to have this rice.
Please do.
I know it's just rice, But the way you described it, oh my gosh.
It's my favorite.
Wait, ang gets ko. Sobrang gets ko. Okay. Wow, I get why it's your favorite.
Yeah.
I haven't tried everything yet.
You don't have to eat anything with it.
Oh, nga eh. I think that's the problem. So again, ladies and gentlemen, you don't need a viand with it, but I'm gonna put a viand with it in just a bit. But yeah, focusing on that, local ingredients, local delicacies brought to life. It's retro but forward-looking at the same time. Are you surprised that this has global appeal?
Not really surprised, honestly. I think we've been all pushing for Filipino food for a long time, and we've known that we've had the place in the world stage for food. I think it's just the right moment now that Michelin is here, and we're actually being able to showcase what we like and what we eat.
Oh my gosh! But yes, the oh my gosh is for the answer in the food.
No worries.
Yes, but I'm going to start off with this next
Please do.
because it looks so interesting. When we look at Linam Nam, now we're going to focus on Linam Nam because, again, you're recognized for that. You practically have 3 recognitions for Michelin. Linam Nam is built on your own family's home, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it is.
You decided to basically invite strangers into your home to try out your mad experiments since 2018.
Yes.
How did all that come about, and was asking permission from your family, who are also there, an issue?
I think that wasn't an issue because I never asked them. I just did it on my own.
Okay.
Then I think the whole idea was I wanted to do something that I couldn't do for working for someone else.
Okay,
Which was to explore my own creativity. Because being in a kitchen, there are certain rules that you have to follow, that you have to be consistent all the time. You have to do the same thing every day.
Yeah.
Which I hated. So I wanted to build a restaurant wherein I could go away from all those rules and we could just be as creative as we can.
So a place where you can actually play.
Exactly.
And that's the reason why the menu is different every time you eat there, or practically different.
So that wasn't actually the main reason of why we were changing the menu. The main reason why we changed the menu is we wanted to highlight the seasonality of the Philippines.
Oh, okay.
Because there's not much a lot of Filipinos who touch on seasonality and the produce that we have here yearly. So for us, being able to showcase a different menu all the time showcases the micro seasons that we have here in the Philippines.
I like how you mentioned the micro seasons because some people just think tag-ulan, tag-init.
Exactly. So that's the
Right.
one thing that I try to fight against because every time magtanong ka sa Pinoy, it's laging mainit, maulan. But there's so much more to it.
Go ahead.
Yeah, like before tag-ulan, before tag-init, there are so many stuff that we get before those seasons. I love that you like the food.
No, I mean like, but why not? Wait lang, ha? Shut up, no, keep on talking. But when we look at that concept, I love the fact that you said 90% of your ingredients in Linam Nam were locally sourced. You're championing ingredients that are not as used, but then are available here in the Philippines, but then it's so hard to get. Well, let's talk about the sourcing first, because ingredients obviously make the meal. The freshness, it changes everything. How difficult is it to actually champion Filipino food at that level?
I think honestly, it is quite difficult in terms of getting really good ingredients. That's something that a lot of the chefs have been trying to fight for a couple of years now, trying to build this proper logistics of getting better produce here in Manila.
Yeah.
But I think that challenge comes with other things as well, of us pushing better and just trying to know how to work with the ingredients that we have here at the moment.
Yeah.
And I think that's just a betterment for the industry. Even though it's really hard to champion Filipino food, us being able to push this just showcases what we can do more in the future.
It's so sad to hear. It's hard to champion Filipino food.
Yeah.
Yet you're doing it in so many ways. Currently you have around 3 ventures in terms of restaurants, including Linam Nam, Offbeat. There's another one as well.
Balvino's.
Balvino's,
Yeah.
yes. And then you're having another one, at least thinking of having another one in Bacolod,
Yes.
where you're going to explore more of
Local
the
produce
local
stuff.
produce there, right? Your whole journey so far has been all about being Filipino. Your recognition has been global for being Filipino. Does this Michelin Award actually reinvigorate that passion, adds more fuel? I don't think you needed it in terms of the drive,
Yeah.
but does that add something else, a little something, just to be able to push it?
For us, it's more of like an assurance in a way that what we're actually doing is right and that we shouldn't stop with what we're doing. Because I mean, for a moment there, we're a really small restaurant, we're a really small team. So for a while, we were doubting ourselves if we are doing the right thing.
Really?
Because Linamnam wasn't built to be a business in a way. It was built to send a message. So when we were doing that, we were always questioning ourselves, is this the right way? Because I have other restaurants that work like other restaurants. That one works very differently. So the fact that we've gotten something that recognizes what we've done just means that we're doing something right.
What message do you feel was amplified with the recognition of Michelin?
Well, I think it's more of that Filipino food can be something.
When you say Filipino food can be something, what is the frustration as a chef in terms of being able to champion Filipino food? We talk about ingredients, we talk about freshness, we talk about produce, but looking at the industry itself, is there maybe an aversion to being Filipino that you feel that some people avoid because you think of Italian, you think of Japanese, think of all of these things. That's high class, high quality.
Yeah. So that's the exact thing that we're trying to fight against. Because I don't think there's any frustration in the industry to be Filipino. Because I think now people are knowing that being Filipino and doing Filipino food can actually be good, and it is actually looked at as something very good right now.
Yeah.
So I don't think you have to cook Filipino, other stuff like Italian, French, or other cuisines to be actually recognized anymore.
Yeah.
So just being Filipino and being proud of it is actually something that's good now.
So being Filipino is enough.
Yes, definitely. More than enough.
More than enough. And of course, for those who are going to be introduced to this for the very first time, either through Linamnam, through Offbeat, through your future ventures, when they see a Chef Don creation, what can they expect? What is going to be different from their worldview when they look at Filipino food once they try your cooking?
Well, all the time, I always say that what I want to showcase is the possibilities of Filipino food. That what we eat every day on our tables, what we eat in a karinderya, is not just that. There's so much more to what we can do with Filipino food, and maybe it's a start for everyone to look at it that way.
I mean, wait lang ah. Stop it. You stop it. And what I love about lying, it's a very musical food.
It lingers.
No, yeah, it's a very musical food when I say, lying beside you here in the car. But chef, because you don't find that funny, we're gonna move on.
No, I'm good.
I want to talk about the future moving on.
For sure.
When people talk about Michelin, they're talking about the global recognition, more eyes to the table. They're going to talk about the pressure on the restaurants to succeed even further, the pressure on the chefs. What I'm getting from you, body language wise, is that you're very unbothered by all of that.
No, not really, of course.
Is that the case? Do you feel that there's more added weight in the consistency required and the innovation required to maintain this certain status?
I would be lying if I said there's no added pressure at all. But I think that's the one thing that I've been telling all of my team, even myself, that why should you be pressured? If they recognize you for doing what you're doing, then there's nothing to think about than keeping it consistent in doing what we're doing right now. So I think it'll always be in the back of your head, but I think that's always good as well, just for you to make sure that you're consistent and you're always thinking about doing something better and doing things perfect.
I saw an interview, you as a 12-year-old, not saying where I found it, but I found it, that you wanted to have recognition, not quite sure what exactly, from Michelin. 15 years later, boom, you have it. Is it full circle for you already, or has age increased your level of expectation of yourself?
Well, I think it has not come full circle already because growing up, when I started doing Filipino food, the goal wasn't even to get Michelin stars because it wasn't even a possibility for me to get a Michelin star in the Philippines at that time. So our only goal was to actually push Filipino food, and I don't think I've done my job yet.
You have a great community alongside you. Chef Angelo, we gotta mention him again because Offbeat, fantastic. The work that he's doing also fantastic, trying to tell stories as well with food. And I personally feel that our heritage hasn't been explored enough in general. We're losing so many heritage dishes because maybe it's hard to do, lack of ingredients and all of that. When you look at your food, could we describe it as maybe our history? Could we describe it as a way to reconnect to a lineage that maybe we're not as connected as we think of? Because there's so much thought and love put into the research. I want to know how we can classify your dishes.
I would say the food that we make, even the ones that we make here at Offbeat with Angelo, it's not essentially history, but it's something that we use for you to appreciate history. We're the means for you to understand what we were doing before. We're not the ones making history here. We're trying to show you that history was actually good before.
Don, we're running out of time, and buti na lang we're not running out of food for Anne. But when we look at what's next for you, we know you have a new restaurant coming up in Bacolod, but what is next for you in the next 5 years or so? Have your goals changed? Have your dreams changed in a way that possibly, all of this recognition from Michelin has changed?
Definitely not. I think we're still pushing for the same things in the restaurant. After the awards, we came to the restaurant. Of course, we congratulated the team, made sure their efforts was thanked. But at the end of the day, I told them, it's still the same job, it's still the same focus, still the same goal. We stick to it, we're gonna do the same job.
All right, so could you invite all our viewers to where they can catch you, 2, to come and visit Offbeat, and 3, if you have something in Bacolod coming up or anything like that, where can they get updates on that?
So please catch me in my restaurants. So here at Offbeat in Makati and Bombinos in Bel Air, Makati as well. And I do have my fine dining restaurant, Linamnam, Manila.
Okay, perfect. Ladies and gentlemen, Chef Don, really appreciate you, and I cannot wait to really dig in here. I'm trying to be so polite. But before we let you go, my friend, our show is called Beautiful Day. This is never my question to ask.
For sure.
I'm so worried asking this question. What makes your day beautiful?
Good food.
I got you. Here's good food, huh?
Yeah.
It's a beautiful day. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Chef Don Baldosano, ladies and gentlemen. Then, of course, it was delicious. And we have a second partner coming up with Anne sitting down with Chef
Angelo Comsti. Yes.
Watch out for that sometime this week. Of course, delicious conversation. And hopefully we're not done featuring more of the Michelin-selected
I know. We should go
restaurants.
visit all the Michelin-selected restaurants.
Madami, which is
I'm
good.
curious about those I haven't tried yet. I'm just glad that Samtai got a recognition as well because, Mo and I always go there. But going back to Offbeat,
So you don't
all
go there
that...
sometimes.
Oh, hindi na sometimes.
Oo.
Often time. Often time.
We're
But-
friends na. Oh my gosh, pareho na humor natin.
But all that food you saw on the table, they were all so good. Can
my
I just say, ang dami nating nakain.
Tama yan,
And
tama yan.
congratulations, Chef Don. You know what? Before we started that interview, we were having a conversation, and then Chef Angelo and I were talking about the radio program that we had back in the day on Wave when we were doing food reviews. And sabi namin, that happened around maybe like 2011. Tapos sabi ni Chef Don, oh, that was the time I was in Junior Master Chef.
Oh, that's funny. I was still in college then.
So kami ni Chef Angela was like, oh, okay.
That's so good. But again, of course, catch our extended interview, or rather our part 2,
Yes.
sometime soon this week. But we're also counting down our days till Christmas. We have how many days left, ladies and gentlemen?
Oh my gosh.
45 beautiful days till Christmas. Hopefully less storms as well on the way.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's a wrap on our show this Monday, November 10. Thank you so much for joining us. Ako po si Paolo del Rosario. Remember, keep it cool and take it easy.
And I'm Anne Asis-Carilo. Have a great day ahead, and always remember to choose joy and spread love and kindness wherever this day takes you. See you again tomorrow, 7 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. only here on
Beautiful Day!